with enormous velocity.
Higher.
Thank you.
Knowledge far in advance of our own.
That's a smart thing.
Contact is established. We now transmit you direct.
Idle time.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is terrific.
Alright, so how do you want to start this off?
Same way that we've been doing.
Alright, well, you ready?
Yeah.
Hey guys, welcome back to another Friday, another day, another end of the week, even though we can't tell anymore, but it's alright. We're doing this together. It is me, Hyra, and
Kim. I can
Over
tell,
here.
by the way, because I have to go to work still.
alright, thanks. Rub it in people's faces. Go for it. Sure. Miss Essential Worker.
Shut up.
Alright. Sorry, I have this cat here again. Listen, you guys. We have been trying to figure technical difficulties out for the past hour and a half.
Oh, yeah.
Because this cat over here decided that he wanted to fuck with my audio interface. And now I'm just kind of here, just kind of fucked. Like, I can not hear myself, which is fine. I don't want to hear myself anyway. But, like, it was just...
Can you hear
it
me
was
eating?
just an annoyance. Huh?
I said, can you hear me eating?
Yes, I can hear you eating. But it's okay.
I have
It's
removed the
alright.
chips from in front of me so that I won't be tempted to eat them.
Hey, they sounded real good, though. I heard
Yeah.
that crunch, crunch, though.
Yeah, with the Ritz crisps in there.
Ooh, those sound good.
Yeah, they
I
are.
love me some Ritz.
They are cream cheese and onion.
Oh, yeah.
So good. My breath
That
is gonna
sounds real
be
good.
kicking. But hey, ain't nobody here but my child, and he don't care.
Yeah, good thing. Now everyone's gonna think you have a baby. She does have a baby. He's about, well, he's not a
He's
baby
7.
anymore.
He's 7.
He's 7. He's 7. He's a cutie pie. But you know, whatever.
It's my child.
Alright then. So, it was my week. You ready?
Yep. Let's go. What are we talking about? What is this?
Alright, Kim. Alright, listen. I decided to go find something that I probably have never heard about before. I don't know if you've heard about it. Have you ever heard about Melon Heads?
Nope.
Cool, because me neither. I saw this thing and it said melons. I was like, Melon Heads? The fuck is that?
In my
So I
head,
clicked-
it sounds like it's a candy.
You know what? People get it confused with lemon heads.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, because
It's
they
funny,
have
like-
they have lemon heads, they have apple heads, they have I think cherry heads.
I didn't even know about apple or cherry heads. I've only heard about the OG lemon heads. Listen, to me it's OG, but I don't know. Maybe these cherry apple ones came first. I don't know. I don't know. But you know what? We're gonna dive somewhere where we haven't dived in a while, Kim. Urban legends.
Ooh.
Yeah, so this is an urban legend that I guess you mostly hear about in Michigan, Ohio, and Connecticut.
Okay.
These melon heads, like I said, you usually hear about them in Michigan, Ohio, or Connecticut. They are these humanoid creatures that are described as small, pale, but you know, like, I don't know, I've read some stories of some people who supposedly have seen the melon heads, and I've read some that they said they were brown. So I don't know, so it could be small, they could be pale or brown, but they're usually small. And their signature style is sporting these big bulbous heads, big bulbous misshapen heads, and that's kind of where they get their name Melon Heads, because their heads are kind of
Big.
as big, round like a melon. And you know, you can tell that there's some liquid up in there.
Oh, they sloshing around?
I guess so. But my thing is, a description that I heard, they said that they had sticky pallor. Do you know what pallor is?
Sweat.
Yes. My thing is, I want to know, how close did these people get to this lemon
These melon
Damn.
heads.
these melon heads, fuck. These melon heads that they were like, man, this dude's sweat is sticky. I'm sorry, you're going to hear the cat, but whatever.
That means they touched them. Who's out here touching stuff? Not me.
Castiel over here licking his butthole. Come on, Castiel, go away. He's getting more and more bold. Go to the window, to the wall, to the Anyway. So I have no idea, but one of them was saying that they have like sticky pallor, and it's just like, bro, like, did you like touch it? Like, yeah, like, what happened? But anyway, they say that they have sticky pallor. They also say that they have like deformed arm and legs, so they kind of have like a little limp or a stump or something. And they have like sharp teethies, like shark teethies. And they also have like red or orange light up eyes that people see in the dark. So, a lot of people believe that their melon headness, the big head syndrome, is probably caused by an actual medical
Issue?
problem. Issue, and it's called hydrocephalus. And pretty much hydrocephalus is pretty much just excess of fluid that builds up in the spaces deep in the brain. So the more fluid that gets in there, the more the head starts to expand. So that's what they think is starting their big misshapen heads.
They've medically diagnosed these mythical creatures.
I guess they're more like cryptids, because cryptids are pretty much just like creatures, but no one has any like proof of them. And I guess it's pretty much
like Bigfoot and Nessie.
Bigfoot. Yeah, those are actually some cryptids. From what I've researched, they do classify as cryptids. So let's start with some urban legends.
Let's go.
In Michigan, in the 1950s, they say there was an insane asylum. I cannot say this word.
Insane asylum.
Asylum. Come on, English. Asylum. Do you speak it, bitch? Whew. All right.
Try 3. Let's go.
Let's go. Michigan, in the 1950s, they say there was an insane asylum by Felt Mansion near Sagatuck. So what? Listen, it's spelled Saugatuck. And every time I see it, I just think of Sagwa, the cat.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
So, like, Saugatuck, Michigan. I don't know.
One of those is
Michigan.
Right.
Exactly. And the insane asylum was called the Junction Insane Asylum. And they were saying that in the insane asylum, they had, other than just crazy people, they had people who had, like, deformities. So they housed children that had hydrocephalus. And the messed up part was, like, these kids were pretty much normal, I want to say, because I didn't hear anything about them being, like, special or anything. But they said that the wardens or the nurses and stuff like that were in the asylum, they pretty much physically and emotionally abuse these kids. So on top of having to deal with this emotional and physical abuse from the wardens and the nurses and stuff like that, are there wardens in insane asylums?
Maybe. Somebody's got to be in charge.
Maybe. Anyway, so on top of having to deal with, these people who's supposed to be taking care of them and dealing with their emotional and physical abuse, they also have a really fucked up doctor who uses opportunity to pretty much run experiments on them. So they were saying that they pretty much started messing with the kids' heads, and it ended up having them kind of go a little crazy. Some of them like went crazy, some of them didn't. But I guess as time went on, due to some budget cuts, they had to close down the asylum. So there was nowhere for them to go, so they just kind of let these
released them.
Yeah, they just released these kids. Yeah, exactly. They pretty much just released these cats. I got this cat in my head. They just released these kids out into the wild, and they decided, fuck it, I'm out of here. I'm gonna go live in the forest, because like, you deal with these people who've been treating you all fucked up. Do you think regular people are gonna treat you any better on the world? No. So they decided, we're gonna live in the forest. So they're living in the forest, and they start turning feral because they don't have that actual human contact. They pretty much just have each other and what they went through, and it's not something that's gonna pretty much turn you into a better person. And I'm sure that they probably had some mental disabilities because, like,
after the trauma,
the trauma and the actual medical condition itself. So they ended up becoming cannibalistic too.
Oh wow, they went straight Lord of the Flies.
Exactly. Like, who got the conch though? But anyway, so they say that these melon heads live in in the underground cavern system, and that's just kind of where they chill and hang out. There's another one where pretty much, you know how I told you about Felt Mansion, right?
No.
So in the one that I just told you, they talk about a place called Felt Mansion, and they make it seem like the insane asylum was near it. But in this story, people think that the kids were actually inside of Felt Mansion. So, Hyra, where is Felt Mansion? I'm glad you asked me, Kim. See,
Michigan?
I know I can always count on you.
Did you say this was in Michigan?
Yes, but it's in Holland, Michigan. So Felt Mansion or Manor was built by a man called Dor Felt. He was a self-made millionaire. And listen, this man, I have mad respect for.
Did he invent felt?
Huh?
Did he invent felt?
Close, but no. It's something equally as amazing, I would say.
Okay.
But he created this thing called the comptometer, and pretty much it's just a calculator. This man invented the calculator.
Oh wow.
Listen, I don't know where I would be in life right now without my calculator. Like, my brain calculator is not as good as my phone calculator. So, thank you, Mr. Felt.
Same.
Anyway, Mr. Felt ends up falling in love with this badass biddy named Agnes McNulty. And he's all like, he loves her so much that he's all like, you know what, bitch? I'm gonna build you your own summer house.
Ooh.
So he does. Exactly. And it's not just a summer house, it's a fucking mansion. A manor. Like, come on, like, please. Show me you love me and make me a manor too, please.
Man, I'll take a 1-bedroom house. Really? Like, I'm not greedy.
It's like, I just need...
Just build it.
I just need to pay no bills, please. And have my own house.
Mm-hmm.
So.
I'll even let you in sometimes.
So you can't even live with you?
I thought it was my house, though.
So you looking for a sugar daddy, then? I'm sure he's building it for her. Don't crazy eye me, woman.
For them to live in together. Hey, I'm trying to be like Frida Kahlo, okay? You can build your house next door. We'll put a little bridge.
We can have a little underground tunnel where we can like knock on the door, like, hey.
Well, their bridge was on the outside.
Their house is what?
They were next door to each other,
Mm-hmm.
and then their bridge was like on the outside.
Oh, how romantic! See, I take a bridge, please.
My own house, and then we can just visit. You know.
Yeah, and then I just want like some crocodile or something like that. So if I need to go Carol Baskin on his ass, just he fell in the pond with the alligators.
I need a moat built into this house, around this house.
So anyway, the house ends up being completed in 1928, but sadly 6 weeks into the move, Agnes dies.
Wow.
Yeah, 6 weeks in. Like, I would be so mad if like someone was building me a home. Finally, I didn't do any research on Agnes McNulty. I don't know if she was rich from the get-go or not, but as a fucking peasant in 2020, I can say that I don't have a house. So I'll be like, listen, if I survive this long to find me a man who has all this money and he's finally building me a house, I finally made it, I'm getting out of this bitch, and then I die 6 weeks later?
What did she die from? Was it the consumption?
I didn't do any research on her. Did you just hear me say? I don't know anything about Agnes other than she died 6 weeks.
Other than he built this house for her, and then she died before she could live in it.
6 weeks later, yeah. She was in the moving process. Like, listen.
Yeah, maybe she slept in it a couple of nights.
Yeah, but still, like, you didn't even get a bask in its glory, really. Like, the shit was probably still bare walled. Like, I'm sure they were still moving stuff in. Like, if she was with this man for a while, I'm sure she, ended up getting some stuff. So she had a lot of stuff to put in this fucking mansion. And in 6 weeks, yes. And in 6 weeks, that was not enough. So, I'm just saying, she didn't get to see it. Like, oh. Like, no, she just went, and it was like, fuck. Like, damn, that sucks. Sorry, Agnes, but...
Depending on where she died of.
Yeah, R.I.P. Anyway, so, her husband, ended up dying a year and a half after her, too. So, from what I saw, he didn't really live in the mansion. So, yeah. But they did keep the manor, like his family, it stayed in the family until 1949. But after World War II, they ended up selling it. And they sold it to St. Augustine's Catholic Preparatory School for Young Men. And, it was seminary for a while. And eventually they started expansion. They started expanding. And you make it big in Catholicism when you have a seminary once you can house some nuns up in your bitch. Because they end up housing nuns. So, like, they're able to cater to everyone now.
Up in that bitch.
They made it. They made it. But for some reason, in the 1970s, they sold it. They sold it and ended up becoming a prison. And they also had police offices there. Man, can you, like, from going from a seminary to a fucking prison system or police stations, like, the difference.
Sharp left turn.
Super sharp. Like, you heard those fucking tires. Like, like, I was like, damn. Yeah, so. And in 1990, Lake Township, they ended up buying it for $1. Yes, $1.
We could
4 quarters. Huh?
We could have bought a house right now today for $1.
I'm just saying, like, I'm a little upset. Like,
wait,
I'm mad that I wasn't born then. Huh?
Is it haunted?
They say it is.
I'm like, that's why it was so cheap.
You know what? I don't know if they sold it so cheap because it was haunted or not. I just know that they ended up selling it for 4 quarters, $1. Like, I remember, like, I could buy a fucking spicy chicken sandwich with that amount in high school.
Yeah.
Like, the amount of a spicy chicken sandwich in the 1990s.
The amount of a spicy potato soft taco.
Hey.
Taco
But the thing
Bell.
is, like, I'm mad. Like, I was born 2 years later.
Wow, same.
We could have been living big in a mansion.
$1. We could have each just put 50 cents in. Like,
that's what I'm saying. That's our friendship, Kim. Put a quarter each. Anyway. So yeah, but I guess they sold it for $1 because I guess in the contract when they sold it, they wanted it to be for public use, not as a private or corporate type thing. Listen, I would have bought that shit for $1. I would be living in it. But, like, if public people want to come in, you guys make an appointment. Let me know so I can clean the place up, get dressed, put a bra on. Like, welcome.
We'll
This
do
is open to
some ghost tours or something.
Exactly. And, I would donate that money to,
The Y.
to Michigan. The Y. I don't know. So I'm sure there's somewhere in Holland that needed the money. And, I'm like, all right, from these go tours. Here you go.
Minus the expense of owning this mansion.
Yeah, people don't like to think about the upkeep of that, but you know what? I think, like, if I had $1,
I still try.
I would, yeah, exactly. I would still try.
The mansion.
Yeah. Listen, if fucking these tiger people could get people to work for them for free, I'm trying to get people to come help me out for free for some ghost tours and a place to live.
Yeah, it's a room and board. Or maybe just room.
Let's go.
I don't know if I'm
Team
cooking
effort.
nobody.
The communal felt home.
That's what we would name it. The communal felt home.
But yeah, so people say that the Melon Heads lived. Okay, so this is the other one. People say that the Melon Heads actually lived and were being treated at the Felt Manor. So, like, there was no insane asylum, nothing. They just went straight from... They were being treated at this house.
Okay, so
And-
some stories say that there was an asylum next to it, and that's where they were. And then some places are saying that the Felt Manor was the facility.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
yeah, that's what they say. And because, like, you know, when the seminary ended up expanding,
Mhm.
they had other buildings in the area. So they were like, maybe it wasn't inside of the Felt Mansion,
But it was
but
on
it was in one...
the property.
Yeah, it was on the property. But in this story, that doctor's still there. You know, this doctor's still there doing that fucked up shit. And these kids end up banding together and they kill the doctor. And they dismember his body.
You know.
And, you know,
For
these
good
kids
measures.
being the... Exactly. These kids being the logical kids they were all like, you know what? We are not going to be able to get rid of this entire body. Let's chop him up into little pieces and sprinkle him around the house. And we're golden. We're good. So that's what they did.
But you
They
said
chopped up his
did
bo-
they eat some of him?
No, I don't think... From all the stories I read, they didn't eat the doctor.
Oh, because I was like,
But they
you
just-
mentioned cannibalism, right?
We'll get there in a
Okay,
bit.
okay.
I have to get through all of them because I'm only going to go through that section once.
Okay.
Because when I was doing the research, I kept reading it over and over and over again. And I was just like,
This is gross.
no.
It's like,
yeah.
have you seen American Horror Story Apocalypse?
No, I haven't seen that.
Girl, when they get to this stew is stew. I can't.
No.
I
No.
can't. No, and then this channel that I watch on YouTube, they always say it. Like, that's their favorite line because they do, like, reviews of the episodes. And ever since that episode, I think they have merch that says this stew is stew. Like,
No way.
It's
do
so
they do hand
dramatic.
motion and everything? This stew is stew.
no, the guy, because they were sitting at a table eating. And the
Uh-huh.
guy, Stu, was his boyfriend or lover or something. And he got
No,
sick.
the guy's name was Stu.
Yes. He got sick.
Oh
And
my
then-
god.
Whatever, died or whatever. And then they've been eating like vegetables and stuff. And then all of a sudden, after he died, they got a meat stew. And then they're eating it. And then in a second, he was
No.
like, wait. And he literally jumps up. And he's like, this
No.
stew is stew. And everybody's like spitting it
No.
out. And they're like, no, it's chicken or whatever.
No.
And, you know, and then I don't even remember if they ever addressed if it was really stew or not. But
They just gonna leave us hanging like that? Listen.
wait, don't
If
you have
I was-
Netflix?
I do.
I think Apocalypse is on there now.
I know, but I want to catch up from where I left off. Like, you know
oh,
me.
dang, where'd you leave off at?
Coven.
Well, I mean, that's a good place to kick in because Apocalypse, it like connects with Coven the most. So you could actually jump from there straight into this, and you would know
Nah.
most of the characters. If you've seen Murder House and if you've seen Coven, then you're good to go into Apocalypse.
Which one's the Murder House?
The first one.
I love that one.
They do a
The
whole
first
episode
one?
there. Yeah, they do a whole episode
So good.
there with those characters.
Dude, that shit was so... Like, I remember seeing American Horror Story, the first one, and I was like, this shit is lit! Like,
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
like, yes.
Yeah. I don't know.
But
I
this shit's
still
about to
think
get litty,
Asylum
too.
and Freak Show are like whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But then I've heard people say that their favorite was Asylum, and I'm like, we have different opinions.
I did like Asylum. I actually did like Asylum.
Like, it's all right,
Freak-
but I would
Freak
rank
Show
it
really
low.
wasn't my favorite.
No, the one that I like that nobody seems to like is Roanoke.
I haven't seen it. I want to do a story about Roanoke so bad.
Do it.
Like, Roanoke is just so interesting. It's just like,
Do it.
I know. But the thing is, like, I have to, like, get into research mode because I don't know. I've only heard of it.
Mm.
Heard a bit.
Yeah,
Heard
Cruella
of
Toe
it.
in.
But, like, where did these people go? Did they kill themselves? Did the aliens take them? Did the zombies come back out and take them
Did
back
they
home?
assimilate
Like, what's going on?
into the Native American people?
No, that did not happen.
Wow. All
I will
right.
tell
Make me
that-
Shane. Make me Shane of this group. Like, for picking the more logical choice of you being like, nah, it's aliens, homie.
No, and just in the fact that like the white man can't be trusted. Like,
You're right.
you know what I mean? Like, I don't feel like the Indians would have been like, yes, let's take them in, when I'm sure they were doing fucked up shit already.
They could have
What I
killed the men
think-
and kept the women.
I like to think that Native Americans are a little more kinder than that in my head. I don't know. I may just be romanticizing here, but like I like to think that they just killed them all equally. Like, you bitches want equality, you die too, bitch. There
They
we
didn't
go.
have equality back then.
They took care of their women, damn it.
All right, back to the story since we rolled off into the sunset.
I know. Let me put my sunglasses back on. I mean, take them back off. Sorry. Okay, so they pretty much say that the kids banded together and dismembered him and sprinkled his body around in the manor.
Okay.
They don't know where it's at, but it's there. And it's still said that if you look at the light through the doors in Felt Manor, you can see the murder happen in Shadow Show.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Where's this
So-
at again?
Holland, Michigan.
Holland, Michigan.
Yeah, that's what they say. If you look through a door, just look at the light, look for the shadows, and you're gonna see these little big heads kill this crazy ass doctor. So, if one of you guys has that recording, please send it. Kim, where can they send it to?
Item9podcast@gmail.com. You can send that straight there.
Please do. So anyway, so they say that there's probably just a simple explanation to this whole Melon Head conspiracy thing going on, or this story. They say, like, so you remember the seminary, right? St. Augustine's?
Yep.
So they say that the public school kids from that area used to call the kids who were going to that seminary Melon Heads, because they thought, or like the kids from that school, the seminaries, thought they were smarter than the kids from the public school.
Oh.
So, you know, yeah, exactly. So people think like maybe they just took it too far and just started making stories up.
Yeah.
But they do say that back in that time when, because, you know, I guess there was like a big shift at the time, you know, with public, private schools and stuff like that. You know, if they got the money, they think they're smarter than everybody else. So they just call them Melon Heads.
Dang, they went straight. What did he say in Pulp Fiction? Check out the big brain on Brad. That's what he says in Pulp Fiction. The opening scene.
Check out the big brain on Brad.
Yeah, when they go to the
Brad.
house to get the suitcase.
See, if there's two things I've learned, you can't trust a Brad and you can't trust a Chad. So, like...
I don't know this by experience, but, you know,
Me
I
neither.
feel that.
So, you can cut this. This is just another story that is from Michigan. But I like this one. So, they say that in Stevensville, Michigan. Okay, let's talk about that name. Stevensville. Can we have a Hyresville? Like, come on, man. Like, is that all we need at the end to name a town? Just put the Ville back there?
Yeah.
Kimsville. Really?
Nah, I wouldn't name it that.
Listen, I'm gonna name one of my pets a Ville name. Caligulasville.
That would be weird. I don't know. Buy you some land and we'll just name it that.
Hyresville?
Yeah.
Kimsville?
No.
Lansville. We have to think about it.
We'll figure it out. When
We can
get
name
the
it
money.
anything.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. So anyway,
It's gonna be
Stevensville,
called
Michigan.
Bath and Body Works Candle.
No, it's not. It's not gonna be called Bath and Body Works Scandal. It's my land and I want it now. No. I have to wait fucking 2-3 weeks to get that shit in shipping. Hell no. Anyway, so they say so in Siemensville, Michigan, there's a place called Cook Nuclear Plant, and they say that around the 50s there was a big leak, and it started affecting a bunch of people in a neighboring town called neighboring place called Bridgman, and they said that the radiation started messing with them not only mentally but also physically. And because of that radiation they ended up getting the big sig head, the big melon head up in there. And since they looked at themselves and they saw that they kind of turned to these like small, pale, sticky little monsters, they went into hiding into the woods.
Like in Chernobyl Diaries.
Chernobyl Diaries. Chernobyl up in Michigan. I don't know.
But pretty much.
But yeah, but oh, and in another rumor, they also say that these people live in shacks by the power plant. So, but they mostly say that because ever since like 9/11 and stuff like that, they've been very like police heavy. Like, they're not just trying to let anybody go into fucking power plant. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So there's police there. And I guess back in the day, like everything else, police, everything was so lax. So they didn't care. People would go over there and check it out. And people swear up and down that they've been there and they've seen those shacks with those people there.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's
but,
before people had camera phones.
Yeah, exactly. So, they say that the police is trying to keep it a secret because they won't let anyone go in there now. Alright.
They could always just remove the shacks.
What?
They could always just remove the shacks instead of leaving them there if they don't want people to know.
That's true, but where are they gonna live?
They could Area 51 them.
Area 51 is for the aliens. You know what? Talking about Area 51, don't you think it's so crazy? Other than the teefies and the eyes, that the fucking, some of the description for these melon heads is kind of similar to a fucking gray. Big bulbous head, small body.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
a little gray.
Alien-y.
Yeah.
Yeah, a little pale thing, But yeah, oddly suspicious if you ask me. Anyway, you ready for some Ohio, Michigan urban legends?
Yeah, let's go.
Of melon heads. All right. So they say you can usually see these melon heads in Lake County or in the suburbs of Kirtland and Chardon. The first story is about this doctor, Dr. Crow, also known as Dr. Melonhead, whichever one you like. I personally like Dr. Melonhead, but they keep calling him Dr. Crow, whatever. So
like
Dr.
you want to be
Crow,
special, like call him by his actual name.
I guess, shit. So either he adopted orphans or he ran an orphanage. All we know is that he got a hold of some orphans. So
this dude had orphans.
He had orphans. All the kids were, well, from what I can see, they said that the kids were normal, but I'm sure that there probably were some kids with hydrocephalus. I don't know. But from what I could read, they said that the kids were normal. But he started doing some experiments on them. And in some of these stories you read about him, it seems like Dr. Crow is not only doing these experiments for himself, but he's probably involved in some sort of government conspiracy.
Oh, wow.
Doing some experiments on the behalf of the government. And while he was performing his experiments, things just start going wrong, like horribly wrong. And these children start to mutate and start getting those big heads and start looking like little like humanoid creatures. But like I said, in another story, same thing. They say that these kids had hydrocephalus, and he just kept going with the experiment, and he just kept pushing fluids in their heads. And by pushing those fluids in their heads, it made them go crazy. And these children end up just getting like fed up with the stuff they had to do and get mad that they keep getting water in their heads. So they just band together and they're like, you know what? Ted Jones fucked with the wrong melon farmers, and they murk him. And they end up burning down his home, and they end up escaping straight into the woods. In another one, same thing. Dr. Crow was a scientist experimenting with radiation for the government. And I don't know, this one's nicer, but at the end, it was his experiments were done. And he, instead of having these kids killed, he decides that he wants to take care of these mutated kids because, you know, they were his responsibility. So he ended up taking care of them. And in another story, he has a wife there too, and him and his wife take care of these kids. But at the end of him or his wife, either way, one of them dies, and the kids end up getting really sad because they're like, well, people are gonna be fucked up to us. So what they do is they end up this one story, it's like the mom died and they set the place on fire with the doctor still in it.
Wow. They forget about him?
I don't know, but he's still in there. But, you know, at the end of the day, they're all like, people are going to be fucked up to us. So they end up burning it down and they escape in the woods.
Dang, they pulled a Have you seen a movie with Eating Gilbert Grape?
I have not, but I heard it's really sad, and I'm not going to.
Well, no, just the end. But it's like sad in a happy way, like they're gonna move on, you know?
No.
But it's pretty much the mom, she's gotten so like morbidly obese and she hasn't left the house in like decades. And so you know, like the kids just do everything. And so the oldest son, Gilbert, like he works and stuff, like he pretty much takes care of everything. But in the end, the mom dies. And so the mom didn't want people to like see her like that. So they just set the house on fire. And then they took off.
That's sad. Spoiler alert for everyone who has not seen this movie.
It's a good movie. And then, you know, Leonardo DiCaprio is Johnny Depp is Gilbert, and he's the, you know, the oldest son, and then Leonardo DiCaprio is the younger son, and he's like special, like he has developmental disability. And then they have a sister. I feel like there was 4 kids, but there might be just 3. It's been a while since I've seen it. But yeah, there was like this kind of caravan of like people who were like moving around, you know? And so Gilbert and like the daughter of one of them kind of started kicking it, and so I think at the end they go with them. Like they pack up.
So
they burn down the house with the doctor in there, maybe.
Yeah, and you know, like all the other ones, they skedaddle into the woods. Alright. Ready for what Connecticut thinks about Melon Heads?
Yes, I am ready.
Alright. So in Fairfield County, there was an asylum for the criminally insane. And one winter in the 1960s, the building just caught fire. And it burned down, and all the staff was killed. Most of the inmates' bodies were found, but there were about 10 to 20 bodies who were unaccounted for. So what they believe is that these criminals escaped and ran into the forest. That's one. This is my favorite one. This is my favorite story. Okay. So, in the cannoli, can I have a cannoli? So, in the colonial era, in Trumbull and Shelton, there was a family who was accused of practicing witchcraft. And, you know, when the rumors were out there, instead of waiting for the investigation to go through, they're like, nah, we're fucking out of this shit. Like, we're out. So, once they started hearing those whispers that people were starting to call them witches or whatever they called them, they packed their shit up and they ran away into the woods.
As you do at that time when they accuse you, because pretty much that means that it's
You
too
fucking
late.
gonna die.
Yeah.
Exactly. You
If
gone.
somebody whispers, "Oh, they a witch," it's time to go.
You
It's
fucking
time
like who? Like you look around like who are they talking
You
about?
don't even have time because it's too late. Once person look at you, you're condemned. Like you gotta pack up and hit the woods. You gotta go. You can't be in that town anymore, whether
Yeah.
you did it or not.
Exactly. And remember, you had asked me, but Hyra, how are they cannibals? But Hyra, how have they survived all this time? Well, I got the answers you're looking for, Kim.
All right.
So, as you may or may not know, because this is new to me, if they're not from this area, I don't fucking know what's going on. But in Connecticut, Ohio, and Michigan, they suffer from really, really harsh winters. So, all these, like, at the end of these stories, you notice that the main thing that happens is these people escape out into the forest. And in order to survive the harsh winters that they have to endure, they believe that these creatures, cryptids, whatever the fuck you want to call them, that they resorted to cannibalism because they can't find enough rodents, enough like livestock out there to survive. So not only did they start eating other people that they found, but they also started to dabble in a little incestual breeding. So for some of them, like,
were they related? Wait.
well, if you remember, the people from Michigan, the witchcraft people, they were related. That was a family they accused.
Okay.
I'm sure after a while they end up becoming related. Like,
Wait. Are these the Melon Heads?
the Melon Heads, yeah.
Okay, I got lost somewhere with the Melon Heads and the family. Like, how are they connected?
So wait, which family?
That family.
Oh no, these are different stories, but they all pretty much lead the same way. Like, it doesn't matter. All the research I read, even if you read the ones in Michigan.
Oh, so
in
some
Ohio,
people think that family, they went into the woods, did the incest, and then their children are the Melon Heads.
Yes.
Okay, that's where I got lost.
Yes, and even in the even in the one where the people escaped the insane asylum with the one that burned down, when they ran out, same thing, like harsh winters, gotta eat people themselves, whatever. But then, everyone needs some love, I guess. So they end up having kids, and then their kids have kids. But who can their kids have kids when they fucking look weird? Nobody but themselves. So yeah. But a lot of people do believe that they have a lot of that, incest spice of life, because, like, I ain't fucking no Melon Head. Like, I don't know. Like, that's just, I don't know. When I thought of this, you've seen The Hills Have Eyes, right?
Yeah.
Do you remember that scene that I'm talking about? The one where they kidnap the lady and that guy with the big ass tongue starts like yeah.
Girl.
Yes.
I've only seen that movie once because of that scene.
Exactly. So when I've thought of this, I'm all like, is this where Hills Have Eyes came from? Like, well, I'm sure it's not. But it's just like, I started thinking about it. I'm all like, unless they're doing that, kidnapping people out there, I can't see how, other than this, they're gonna create more of themselves.
Man, yeah, because I mean, it's a better route. That's what they did in Midsummer. They brought people there so that they can mix up the gene pool.
Please do not add me into the pool. My feet will stay on the grass. I don't want to get wet. Please don't do that to me.
You should watch. Matter of fact, Midsummer's on Prime. You should watch it. It's long though.
I want to watch it.
It's pretty good. It's
yeah.
just for people who don't like movies that get quiet, it's not for you. But if you can sit there and watch it, it's pretty good.
Yeah. But they do say that because they do that kind of stuff, that's probably what led some of them to get that, that big, bulbous, juicy melon head, and how to get those, like, little
from the
the
incest.
limbs and shit. Yeah, exactly. Because there's a higher chance of
Birth
genetic
defect.
deformities.
Yeah.
Yeah, when they do that kind of stuff. So. Yeah, and that's why I will only say that once, because I was reading it over and over again. I was all like, I'm saving this shit for.
You said this
like,
is gross.
I'm like, that's where we stopping this shit. Ha! I can have that dramatic like slam the book on the table. But yeah, so that's that about that. Melon Heads. What you think about them?
It was interesting. So it's like their own like urban legend for that area, and so it's interesting to see how many different stories they all come to the same conclusion. Like there's some little weird people with big heads and deformities out in the woods.
Stop talking about Brad and Chad, Kim. Leave them alone.
Brad and Chad, that's their names.
But yeah, I don't know. It was just so weird. Like I've never heard of them, and then it's just like I don't know. I'm just saying, fucking.
I wonder if
Dr.
there's
Crow.
like urban legends for California.
I'm sure there are. We just kind of.
Well, like Southern California, because I bet any money they have like Bigfoot in Northern California. But what do we have out here in Southern California?
Racism. I don't know.
No, they have that on Northern California too.
Oh shit, my bad.
We were just talking about how they keep trying to split California because they're tired of it being too liberal, and so like I guess more people who are conservative live Northern California, and they keep trying to split California in pieces, so it'd be different states instead of just one big state.
I don't know. For me, I feel like there's no reason in trying to break apart or anything like that. I feel like once you start doing that, you're just kind of like, fuck it, there's nothing we could do. I feel instead what they need to do is like, I feel like more people, like our generation, stuff like that, are starting to move out of California because first of all, rent's too high and stuff like that. People are starting to move more into more, I guess, more conservative areas, and I feel like when more people start moving into more conservative areas, there's more, I guess, open-mindedness, because once they actually meet us and what they think is completely different, for the most part. But it's like once they start seeing, it's like, well, this isn't true, and maybe it'll open their minds instead of being like those people. It's like, oh no, they don't listen to us, let's fucking shut ourselves off in this little area and not letting them in. I'm like, no, you can't do that. You have to open up people's eyes to like, listen, we might have differences, but we're all people at the end of the day. So maybe I don't agree 100% for with the stuff you do. Maybe you don't agree with the stuff I do 100%. But we need to find a middle ground because now I live here.
Yeah.
And
I think it is. Yeah, a coexist thing. But then the fact that they've already kind of like made up their mind that we want to be separate, I don't know how willing they are to do that.
What do you mean they? The liberals?
No. What?
I don't know. I was like
Northern California. That's what I mean. Because the Northern California is what wants to split from Southern California.
Hey, I'm trying to go to Northern California, so I'll take as many people as I can. Like, let's go down there.
Yeah.
We here to stay. Hey, we here in Northern California. Hey, let's coexist. Hey, and we'll make a big party, and the Northern Californians will love us. Come on, man. Who doesn't like to party?
No, what's gonna happen is they're gonna move to Southern California, and we all move to Northern California.
They're gonna come over here and live with my parents.
Yeah.
So good luck.
Start all moving up that way. They're gonna be like, and we're leaving.
Man.
All right, so
the best part of the show.
That's another thing I wanted to mention to you while I struggle to shuffle the cards the way I know how to. I was thinking of getting another deck. Yeah,
fine. I was thinking about that too, but
yeah, it's just I like these and they're real cute, but it's like when I was editing the episode where there was the word struggling.
Yeah.
I'm like, this old English this fake old English that they're using for Alice in Wonderland is not it, you know. So
yeah, we can do that.
all right, and I am pulling a card. I swear we've done this one.
Which one is it?
It says, I want to be a queen. 33.
33.
Can I reshuffle?
What does the bottom say?
Stating your sovereignty, declaring freedom, passing a test.
I feel like we have done that one.
Matter of fact, look at my phone.
There you go.
I'm pulling another card anyway. Matter of fact, this was last week's card.
Wow, you didn't shuffle right, Kim.
I did. I'm doing it again.
The universe wants you to be a queen again.
I'm gonna leave this one out just in case.
Imagine you leave it out and then you pull it out again.
Then I'll be like, well, this week's card is number 33. I swear. I'm like, well, that's it.
It'll be easier. You could just cut off the other part and put it in this one. Copy and paste.
Nah, we got the same card 2 weeks in a row. That's what that says. All right. Okay. Pulling another one from the middle. This one's different. It's number 2. I wonder what will happen next. Ready to adventure. Precipice of change. Pause before action. That's what it says. Number 2. I wonder what will happen next. Ready to adventure. Precipice of change. Pause before action. Alice was beginning to get very tired of sitting by her sister on the bank and of having nothing to do. Once or twice she had peeped into the book her sister was reading, but it had no pictures or conversations in it. And what is the use of a book, Alice thought, without pictures or conversations? I'm just going to read the divination part because that makes the most sense to me. Okay. It says that this card means a longing for excitement, wonder at what is meant to take place next, someone who is comfortable but vaguely dissatisfied, be ready for a challenge or for new experiences.
Yeah, I feel like with the way things are going around now, everyone's just a little tired. Like you said, Alice is stuck at home with her sister. We all stuck at home with our families or whatever. You know, it gets a little mundane, but you know what? Yeah, but you know, at the end of the day, you know, exciting things will happen. We just gotta wait it out, yo. Just wait it out. We're almost out this hoe. Well, we don't know yet, but you know,
we almost out this hoe. We just have to, you know, keep positive. As hard as it is, you know, there's always something to do. Go clean your bathroom. Something. Please. You know what? That's the one. Huh? Please clean your bathroom. Practice some personal hygiene, because obviously people have been lacking.
Guilty.
Y'all, get it together.
Listen, this is the best time. Like, a lot of people are saying they don't get a lot of me time. This is the time. Like, you know, just do
You just refuse to put your phone on silent. That's the second time it went off while we were recording.
No way, are you serious?
Yeah, that's the first time I just ignored it. But
I didn't hear it the first time. Kim, please remind me before we start, like, silence.
Let me get a Post-it. Let me write it down. I'm gonna have to, like, bootleg laminate this, because all these stickers are popping up.
Yeah, I know.
I'm gonna do, like, do you remember, did you have Miss Danger?
Danger!
For English?
Watch yourself. Tell me what I'm working with.
We did poetry, and we had the notebooks. And then we like decorated, like made collages on our notebooks. And then she just put clear tape to laminate them.
Hey, when in Rome, do as the Romans. Gotta work with what you got, man.
Yeah, just fight naked.
Yeah. But I think the Oracle cards are very on the spot of how people are feeling. But, you know, at the end of the day, we gotta always remember, it doesn't matter if 5% is what's dying. That's still a life, and we still have to be responsible. And, you know, Just keep trucking through, my friends. Keep trucking through. It's gonna get better. It has to get better. Like, it can't get any worse than this. Until I lose my house. No, I'm kidding.
Girl, don't even play like that because it can 100% get worse.
Yeah, no. Yeah, but you know what? As long as we're healthy and good, we can work around everything else. We can work around everything else. But shit is getting boring, and that's why we're here. Learn about some melon heads.
Hey, urban legends.
Yeah. But yeah, you guys, thank you for joining us every week. Has been fun, and I hope you guys are enjoying it. If you guys have any
Suggestions for topics.
suggestions, yes, anything you just want to point out. If you have any more stories about melon heads, or if you've encountered one, please send that in. Kim, let them know our info.
Honestly, I would message it to our Instagram, which is Item 9 Podcast.
Can you spell it out?
It's item, and then I think it's the number 9. Hold on, I gotta look at it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, because I would just say the number 9, but I don't know.
I feel like I've gone over this for multiple episodes. Oh, it's the word. Item 9 Podcast, all together. It's one word.
You know what we need to do? We need to...
Well, we're going to have an info page. We're going to have an info little thing. Which,
I know, but I feel...
While we're on the phone, we should look at well, let's do the outro, and then I can do this, play around with the screen sharing, and we should look at the SoundCloud thing. Because we gotta, matter of fact, according to our timeline, we're supposed to start putting episodes up soon. Like, have them up, ready, just not live.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so let's do our outro.
Alright. Well, thank you guys for joining us. I hope you guys have a good weekend, and we'll see you guys again next Friday. Don't forget that you are the bee's knees.
Item 9.
Hey.
Bye.
Toodles.
And cut.